Hi, I'm James. I'm a front-end engineer at GitLab. Today I wanted to walk through a tutorial for how to make your very first contribution to GitLab. So today we'll be doing a very simple issue, and we'll be following along a tutorial that you can also follow along with. And the goal for today is to explain a bit about how the GitLab development environment works, how to make a merge request, and we'll be using Gitpod for this. And so there's a couple of options for if you want to use the GDK, the GitLab development kit, on your own machine, or if your machine isn't fast enough to run that, you can run it on Gitpod, where it runs in one of their servers. So we'll jump right in, get started. So share my screen. Okay, so this is the tutorial that we're going to be following along today. I'll post it along to the... I'll post it later. I'll post the links in the description. But this is the brand new how to contribute to GitLab tutorial. It's ideal for your very first merge request. So I haven't read all of this so that I can go through it with you and we can step through it together. So, sorry, this is the tutorial we're going to do. This is a general page on how to contribute to GitLab. Cool. All right, so first things first, we need an issue to work on. We don't need an issue. If you find a problem in GitLab and you want to fix it, you can create an issue. But I'm going to work on this issue. So this is one I made. So this is my professional work account. I'm going to use my personal account today so that you can see how it works as a contributor, as a community contributor. So today I'll be doing... Well, I won't do anything that you can't also do yourself. So this issue came out of on GitLab. We have a bunch of places where we say learn more, like this. Problem is we hyperlink the whole thing, learn more full stop, and we don't want to hyperlink the full stop. So there's some places in the code where we're going to update this. So the full stop is not hyperlinked. It's a very simple issue, and it's on purpose. There's a few of them, so the idea is if you've never done an issue on GitLab, you can also do one of these issues. So then you can pay more attention, or you can get used to how it works contributing to GitLab rather than the code itself. Okay, so I created an issue just for this single line, which has the hyperlink and the link to see more. So what I did first I commented on it. It's confusing because obviously they're both me, but at James Rushford is my personal account. I added myself. You can also add the contributor success team. You can also add me if you want, exactly like I did here, and I asked to be assigned to this issue so that nobody else works on it. So now you can see nobody else is going to work on it. It's all mine. Alright, so prerequisites. Make sure that Git is installed. Git is installed on my machine. Also, we're going to use Gitpod today, so you don't even need Git installed on your machine. Also, we're not going to use the source code editor, but we're going to use the Visual Studio Code one that's built into Gitpod. Okay, so on GitLab.com we created an account. So I've created an account that's a public account, same as yours. Go to community members, community/community members group, and request access. I did this already because this takes a little bit of time, because you need to request access on this button that says leave group. And then you need to wait for one of our core community members to allow you access. So I've already done this, so you don't have to wait. Okay, and then what we're going to do is configure GDK, the GitLab Development Kit. Okay, so the GDK is, you can read it, but it's a local version of GitLab so that you can run GitLab on your own machine. The benefit here is you can make a change, see it instantly. So this is how to install. So if you want to run it on your own machine, this is what you do. You do it on your own machine. You see here, we're expecting 2 hours to install the GDK. It's a big boy, takes a while. It's not fast, but we're going to use Gitpod, which is a lot faster. So if you have like a fast computer, you can please, by all means, install the GDK. If you don't, that's fine. You can use Gitpod, runs in your browser, and requires a lot less computer power. Okay, cool. So we're going to skip this, how to install GDK. But we're going to skip it. So if you already have an existing GDK, what to do? So this is how to move on to the community fork, rather than on the main fork. So this is a good point. What is the community fork? What's the main fork? And what's the alternative? So let's have a look at this. So this is a GitLab group, and our group is members. The community. And what we've done is we've forked GitLab. So this is a straight copy of the main repo. So here is the main repo, gitlab.org/GitLab. This is all of GitLab, and so the problem is if you were to make a branch on here. So if we were to have a look at this repo and try to make a branch, I'm not able to make a branch on my personal account because I don't have access to it. I'm not a developer on this repository. I'm not a member at all on this repository. It's just public. So the way you would traditionally do this is you would clone the repo onto your own computer. So then you have a copy of GitLab. This works, that's fine. So then what happens is you then create a branch on your own clone of GitLab, and then we merge your branch into the main version of GitLab. Cool. The reason why we're not doing it this way is because if I do this now, I create a copy of GitLab, and when I run the tests, which we need to run the tests in order to merge our code to make sure that we haven't broken anything and we don't break gitlab.com, all our tests need to be run. Now those tests, they run on a server. You pay for the minutes that those tests run. So if you do this, you are likely to run out of minutes because you only have a limited amount of minutes. Whereas if you use our community fork, you use the community fork's minutes, which has pretty much unlimited minutes. So super useful. Okay, so that's why we joined the community. All right. Now next step is change the code. So we set up GDK. Now we're going to change the code. So we'll have a look here. We're going to read through this together. As I said, I didn't plan this out so that we can go through this together. So in this example, what the writer is doing is changing some text on the avatar preferences. Okay, so this is what they're actually going to do. So what they're going to do is search the directory for the string. So already we're ready to change the code. What we want to do before this is create our branch and set up our developer environment, which we're doing in Gitpod. Okay, so how do we do this? Here is our GitLab community fork. So again, if you join the GitLab community members group, now I am a developer, or I'm a developer, I think, on this project. So I'm allowed to make branches. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the web IDE, and we're going to use Gitpod, right? So Gitpod is a web IDE that also runs the GitLab development kit so that we can make changes and see them instantly. Okay, so to do this, we're going to log in first. This is going to take a little while, so yeah, strap in. Okay, cool. So context URL, like what is it that we're creating a workspace on, is the master branch. The editor, we're going to use VS Code. The class, I guess we can use more. Maybe it'll go faster. I don't know if everybody can do that. I'm on the community account, so I guess so. So this means we use we use more RAM on the Gitpod server, so it should run faster. Okay, so what it's doing now is it on the Gitpod server, it is creating so it's cloning the repo, and then when it clones the repo, it's going to install the GTK. But all of this is going to happen automatically and really quite fast. So, well, I say fast, it's going to take 5 minutes or so. So while that's running, we can read through the rest of our tutorial and make a plan. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go through this once Gitpod starts because it'll make more sense. I'll just see if there's anything else we can update. Yeah, so this is going to be important for later, because when we update some content, some text, we're going to need to run an update on the translation files. So update the documentation. So when you update something on GitLab.com, it's possible you might also need to update the documentation. So if you're adding a feature, you're updating a feature, you need to give some information on how this works. This isn't strict. So what we can do is we can look at the documentation. So you can look at the GitLab handbook. So I'll do that now. Okay. So we're going to look at the handbook, and what we're going to do is not just look at the handbook, but we're going to look at updating documentation. So here we're going to get really good, not this, here. So this is why documentation is important at GitLab. What does it do? So whenever you have a question about GitLab, you can usually do this. Just about our entire employee handbook is open to the public for this reason, so you can also use it. So contributing to the documentation is what we want. So anybody can contribute to our documentation, and here is the process of how to do so. So in here somewhere, I can't remember where, there's something important that says every feature on GitLab should have documentation, but it's okay that we release a feature and then we add the documentation later. But if this is something you're worried about, you can reach out to our GitLab coaches. So GitLab merge review coaches, which is a group of GitLab engineers. Yep. Why does this look funny? Oh, our handbook has been updated. Sorry. So merge review request coach. This is a special group of engineers at GitLab who put their hand up and said, I'm happy and would like to help community members to contribute to GitLab. So I'm part of this team. So what it means is you can add coaches. Let's have a look. This is outdated. This needs to be fixed. If you want a simple thing to fix, you can remove this because we don't use Gitter contributors room anymore. We just use community Discord. So that would be an easy fix, easy update if you want to contribute yourself. In that case, you don't need an issue. You can just edit it. Actually, it's really simple. We can do that while we wait. So while we're still running GTK, so alright, cool. I don't have write access, of course, because I'm on my personal account. You also don't have write access. Perfectly fine. What you need to do is fork the project or open the community fork, which is what we're actually going to do here. So we can have a look at the code. Now, this is an interesting one. So what we're going to do is we're going to edit just in the IDE. Now, what's the difference between like the web IDE and Gitpod is Gitpod also spins up the GitLab development kit, so we can run GitLab and see our changes in real time. Where you would use the IDE is if you just want to change the code and you don't need to check it. So a good example of this is this exact piece, because all we're going to do is remove this line 23. We don't need to check this. It doesn't need to run any tests. We don't need to validate the changes because we're just changing Markdown. It's super easy. So while we wait, oh, good, it started. Great. Let's have a look. Yeah, we accept this. Do we want to open in VS Code Desktop? No. Maybe you do. I'm not going to at the moment. It does work. It is useful. But yeah, I'm going to keep it in the browser. So what's happened is our container has started, and what it's doing now is installing the GTK. This is still going to take a while, so just wait. And while we wait, we'll see if we can update this. So what we want to do is we want to update this this page, which has this address on gitlab.com. So what we can do is we can have a look at the community fork. Let's go back to community fork. Okay, where we do have access. So what we'd like to do is open this in a web IDE. So now we do have write access because we're on the community fork. We can create a branch, right? Okay, so what I want to do is open this file. So we can treat this exactly like VS Code. It's practically VS Code. So we're going to copy the relative path. We're going to open that file. It's not part of the same group. It's not the same project. Okay, that's cool. So this project is the handbook. So you can see here, gitlab.com/content/handbook. So what we want to do is instead of opening gitlab.com community fork, we want to do gitlab handbook community fork. So this way, okay, fine. The way we're going to find it is we're going to look at the GitLab community group. We're going to look through for the handbook. Okay, there's no community fork for the handbook. That's fine. So what we're going to do is we'll ask on Discord, and somebody will nicely make one for us, I'm sure. This is a little bit different. if you're confused as to why I'm confused, is because we recently split. We just changed where we have our handbook. That's why it looks different, and I'm not entirely sure how it works just yet. So this says GitLab/com. So I'm just going to check, because maybe this one has that. So we can still, I think, no, we can still use the terminal in this page. Oh, I don't, yeah, like this. I'm going to search for this file. Okay, so this handbook page has merge request coach lifecycle. Let's have a look. So what is this? This is how to become a merge request coach. But we're looking for this specific page. So we're just going to search the text. Well, this is a fun thing to do while we wait. No. Okay, cool. It's because we're moving handbook. It's fine. I'll sort it out later. But yeah. Yeah, we'll sort it out later. Another way we could do this is we could look at the page source, and then we can see, where is this? It says gitlab.com. Oh, and then the handbook repository. Yeah. All right, cool. So that's the repository. This is the repository that we need to create a new community fork on. But this is new. We only created it recently, and we're just moving a handbook onto this repo instead. Cool. All right. So let's get started on our code while we wait for the GTK to start. So we can already look at our code, but what we can't do is have a look at the GTK running in real time. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a look at our issue. Now we're going to open this file, which is where our broken formatting for Learn More is. So you can, you can again treat this exactly like VS Code. Command P, Control P to open a file. Right. We can also change this to dark mode because we're not monsters. Cool. All right, way better. Now we can read it. Okay, and then the thing that we're going to fix is Learn More. So you can see here is our text. So the way we did that is, luckily, this file has... this isn't right. Hang on. Let's clean this up. Okay, this is the issue we're working on. And now, luckily, in this case, our issue says we're going to change this specific piece of text. Now, if we didn't know that, how would we work it out? So this is where I started. So this is the first one. So we have, so Raymond has run some code that says, look in all of our translations, which is the gitlab.pot, look for the words Learn More and find all of the instances of it. So it's found this instance, and what I did before when I created the issue is I tried to find, where is this line of code? What's it coming from? So I'm going to show you how I did that. So I'm going to do a global search of this text, and you can see, so gitlab.pot, so what this is our translation. So our code will generally do it in English, and then we'll have the translations available for each language that we support. So you can see these are all created automatically. So like, for example, this is SL Slovenian, I guess. So we don't have the Slovenian translation, so we're doing it in English. But maybe if we look for a more used language, French maybe. Oh, this is, hang on. Let's look at German. no German. So you can see here, but like there's some German translations, but for learn more, there's no translation for learn more. So if you want to add that, you can also contribute to our translation. So here it is. Here is the link start. Here is the link end, and there's the full stop on the end. Okay, interesting, because that's not what I expected. I expected the full stop to be within the learn more. So maybe it's possible that somebody else has already made this change. So again, we can use this the way we use VS Code, where what I want to do is work out who did this change and when. Now, the way I would usually do this is with what is it called? Like get history, get blame. Yeah, it's only got 18k views and it downloads. I don't think that's the right one. So there's a git extension that will tell us who updated this when. None of these are very popular. But I think it's git blame. Let's try it. I can also just load my instance of VS Code and see which one it is I do use. It's super useful. You can see here, like, this is what I want, right? So you can see who changed this and why. Git lens, that's what I use. One word. Cool. Yeah, so again, you can make Gitpod work the way you want it to run and install the extensions that you like to use. So now we can see this was updated 5 months ago, and we can have a look at the MR by usually there's a link. So we're gonna choose which remote to open on. Okay, so this is the origin. This is the one we're creating a branch on. This is the upstream of that. So it's directly connect to that. So we're going to connect to the upstream. Let's have a look. So now we can have a look at, this is the merge request that changed that line of code. Link end. Yeah, strange. I would have thought this is what we need to do. Move the full stop outside the link. So, okay, so now Gitpod is now running. So now we can treat this the same way as you would the GTK on your own machine. So we can do GTK start, which will start our GTK, and it'll give us an address to open our GTK when it's ready. Okay, great. So we can open this link. So if you're on your own machine, this works, running on your own computer. But for us, it's running on Gitpod. Make sure this port is exposed, and then try again. So we can have a look at our ports. We're looking at 3000, not served. Let's have a look here. We don't want to make it public. We want to open it in browser. We can make it public, and then anybody can see it. Let's try. Now you can see it if you're watching live. Or you can see the same thing. What port are we running on? Okay, let's read this and see, maybe something's wrong. this is a strange error that I wouldn't have expected. So if you have any problems like this, asking on the Discord is the best place to do that. I'm not going to ask right now because then we're just going to do a troubleshooting video, and that's not what we want to do. So instead, I'm just going to see if we're running. So GTK status, to see is GTK running. Also, you can just Google GTK, like troubleshooting to find that. Okay, so this one is down. So when something is down, you should be able to do GTK stop, GTK start, but we're going to do GTK kill. We're going to kill everything. And we're going to hope this works. And so we'll kill everything, and then we'll start it again. This sometimes happens when if you haven't updated master in a while, and some of the like dependencies have updated. This you'd need to do this GTK kill, GTK start. We can also do GTK update, which pulls all of the latest stuff and installs it again. Okay, something's wrong. So we're going to do GTK doctor. Again, on Git pod, you shouldn't normally have to do this, but it's useful debugging. So I'll show you. So GTK doctor should tell you like what is wrong. I suspect what is wrong is this error here, where newest version of Golang is not installed. Oh, I tried to copy it, but getting this error, which you can't see because it's in the bottom corner, but it says some key bindings don't go in the terminal by default. Anyway, we might just need to copy it. Oops. No, it doesn't work. Okay, no worries. GTK might need your attention. Let's make this bigger. There's an update available. Cool. So let's run what it said to run, which is I wish I could copy this. Otherwise, ASDF install Golang 1.19.9. No, can't. I already forgot it. Why we've got all these errors? Okay, we're gonna run GTK update. We'll see what happens. This is gonna take a while, so yeah, just have a wait. Okay. I've forgotten what we're doing. Alright, so what I'd like to do is verify, is this still the case or not? Because I don't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to find where in GitLab this is rendered. So we're in JavaScript members constants. So we're going to have a look at this page and try to work out where is this code actually being rendered. Oh, it's too big. Alright, so let's have a look at it. I don't know what this is. Let's look at the output of what's being rendered. Okay, it's just constants, right? So where is this being used? We can work that out. So learn more. So this is the constant that's being exported. So we can do a global search for this and see where is this being imported to. So we've got two places. Guest overage. I don't know what that means. Confirm action. I don't know what this page is. Let's try to work it out. Oh, I guess the second one is just the test. So underscore spec means it's the test. Yep. So it's only being used in one place. So the specific text that we want is this link text. So let's try to work out where is it being used. Okay, so get confirm content. So what it says Oh, here's our problem, right? So the link start. No. Okay, so what's happening here? Sprint F. So if you don't know how this works, that's fine. GitLab, Sprint F, translations. This is part of our translation internationalization. That's what it's called. So if you want to know how this works, this is where you look. View files. What does Sprint F do? You can read this, but I'll tell you the short version. I'm pretty sure it's string print F. I think function. That's what it means. So what it's saying is like there's a message, and we're giving like a link start and a link end, and then we're going to give the link start and the link end in the function. So like here, this is saying hello username, and then the function is getting the username and adding it to the translation. So now from that information we can tell that, where is our code? Yep, here it is. So link start we're replacing with an anchor tag, an opening anchor tag. Link end we're closing with an anchor tag. So we should expect our link text, which let's so this becomes an opening anchor tag, this becomes a closing anchor tag. Here is our full stop. So we should expect that full stop is not hyperlinked. Okay, but we still want to see it in real life, right? We want to know where is this being used. So I've lost it again. Here. Okay, the link. So now what's happening is get confirmed text is going to show us some info text, an info warning, and a link. The info text is overage model info text, giving it the subscription seats. Okay, so what I expect this to be is some text which has you can see it here. So D, like a percentage D is a number. N __. So let's have a look at this. Right? So this is another type of translation function, which you can find here, how it works. N __. You can see here. It's for adding a number in. So we also can have a plural like this. So last percentage D days, it inserts that number. Okay, so we're using that because this is what it says, like manages your subscription. So your subscription includes this number of seats. This is useful because now we know where this text is likely to be run. So this also says if you continue, the group name will have this number of seats and you'll be billed for the overage. That's what overage means, like over number of seats. Okay, so we're going to try to find that on gitlab.com. So the way this will work is I don't know, how do we look at our subscriptions? Preferences, billings, so we can manage our seats maybe. This might be a really difficult thing to like to mock. Yeah. Okay. Now I'm paranoid and I want to check to make sure it's working again. Thanks so much, Lee, for saving me there. Close Slack again. Yeah. Cool. I am live. And we are recording. Great. Cool. Alright, so my personal account is using Ultimate SaaS plan. But I have no so I guess I get the free one with work, right? So what I want to do is replicate that page. let's look at it again. So I think what this is doing is it's saying like, if you increase the number of people in your group, and that increases the number of seats that you're paying for, then it's going to say, hey, you need to pay more for this. Okay, so how do we do that? I'm not sure. Let's just see if our workspace is working yet. If our GDK is working yet. So we're looking for like, GDK start. So we need this URL. While we're here as well, we'll create our branch. So one thing we want to do is create our branch with the issue number at the start. This way it'll automatically be linked to the issue, so we don't have to manually do it. Oh, can't read from the clipboard. You can't see this error, it's behind my face. So yeah, I think I need to give permission. Yeah, okay, cool. Now it'll work. So we're going to give it the name, the issue number, and fix learn more formatting. Okay, it is important to name your branches in a clever way, because as we saw before, like this, so every merge request you make, like your merge request, it creates a documentation as to your code. So if we want to work out why this was changed, we'll have a look at the merge request like we did before. I think it's still open, and this merge request serves as our documentation, right? Which is probably also a good way to find, where is this, yeah, great. So we can see where is this rendered, which is what we want to see, because we want to make sure that learn more is, see how it's not even highlighted here. So it's probably not even an issue at all. That's fun. Yeah, that's my bad. I made that I made that issue. But it's a good good learning process. And I think I'm just gonna have to create another issue to do anyway. So okay, cool. Our Git pod is working. Great. Now you can see in here GDK bash. So when you create this, what you're doing is you're creating a brand new instance of GitLab, and so you can log in as the root user for GitLab. So the username is root and the password is this. Yeah, we'll stop shortly because I don't think we need to actually make a make a merge request for this. So it's not a great example. Okay. All right, so we'll see this on GDK. You can read it, see what it says. But it's just so things run faster. It means the page loads, individual pages open slower. So you can create your password. You can put whatever you want, because it's only in this one instance. So make it something you'll remember, whatever. You're going to have to create a new one every time you create a new Git pod. Cool. Okay, so now we are running GitLab locally. So you can see this is spun up like an instance of GitLab with 10 projects, with groups, and you have administrative rights. So you can see here, you can access the admin area. This is your GitLab. Okay, so I think here is what we're going to have to do. So let's have a look again at this. So a good merge request as well has this how to set up and validate locally. So yeah, what we did there is we followed the merge request, the Git lens history, to find an old merge request, and then we're following this. That's a totally valid way to do that. Okay, so excuse me. So this has got a feature flag enabled. Hopefully we don't need to enable this, but maybe we do. Let's just try without. So we're going to navigate to, so this is GitLab shell. So this is already telling us like how to do this on the GTK. So we should be able to just go here. Oops. After there, and has it got GitLab org? Yeah. Okay. Cool. So maybe this will work. So we're going to want to change the max role value. Where? Max role value. Okay. Okay, I'm actually going to read it. Sorry. Navigate to the project members page for a project. Then change the max role value. The modal should appear. By clicking off the modal, or click back, close the modal, click continue, clicking learn more should open a new tab, open the drop down. Okay, so let's try to make it an owner or maintainer. No modal. Maybe we need to activate this. Yeah, we need to activate this feature flag. That's fine. That's a fun thing to learn. So we're gonna open up the Rails console. How do we do that? GitLab Rails console. Maybe we need to add like in GTK, because you can open up the GTK, the Rails console in your instance and manage GitLab. Anyway, I don't remember because I shortcutted this and I knew it would be a mistake. Okay. How to open. Okay, let's try. Alright, well, I should have just read this, right? No, this doesn't always work, because we want like in the GTK, not like in our own instance, right? Yeah, I can never remember it. Maybe we can do just Rails console. Maybe that's it. Okay, cool. We're using our old version of Postgres. Okay, so this is like, you shouldn't be seeing this on Gitpod, which means like we need to ask our Gitpod team to update something. Anyway, so that's a good thing to say on the Discord. Okay, so what we're doing is, what is happening? Oh, I did it on, okay, cool. So this is on my own VS Code. Fine. Quitting this. So what I did is I shortcutted Rails console to open up the Rails console. And I don't remember how to do this. If you know and you're watching, feel free to put it in the chat. Maybe I'll see it. GTK usage GitLab. So what we're looking for is Rails console. So this is the how to use it. Use GTK. Start a Rails console. Look at that. Alright, cool, easy. Okay, so we're opening the Rails console. And so this Rails console is like, you can consider it as like I don't know, like a back end for, well, I mean, it's the back end for your GDK instance. Okay, so it's running, and what we're going to do is we're going to turn on a feature flag. So we're going to feature enable this feature. Okay, so we're running this in Rails console. True is what we want. You can also do like feature enabled question mark, and it'll be like, yeah, it's on, or it's not. Okay, so now reload our page, and that feature flag should be on. Oh, we should be using the new nav because I just worked on it. Excuse me. Okay, so it's taking a little bit because it's GDK and we just changed the feature flag and it's doing some things. Just give it a minute. It's fine. Okay, we're going to switch to the new nav because it's way cooler and I worked on it. Look, I updated the speed of transition for this, so you're welcome. Anyway, so we're going to change this, I think. You can change whatever you want here because like you're on the GDK, like it doesn't matter. You can delete whole projects if you want. Do whatever you want. Alright, so this says change the maximum role value. And we should get alright, but I can't change this one. I can only change this. Alright, let's oh, something happened there and I was too fast. Okay, great. Here we go. Learn more. This is already done. Cool. So now we come this far. I'm just gonna keep going, and I'm gonna make it part of this URL. But we're not gonna merge this. We're just gonna test it, right? So in this case, what I will do is I'll take a screenshot here, and I'll post it on the issue itself. So I'll say like, hey, this issue, this should already be closed. So the way I'm going to say that is, could not validate locally. Oh no, I'll just write in normal human language. It seems as though this is not an issue. The full stop is already outside of the hyperlink. And we're gonna attach a screenshot. See screenshot attached. Okay, so this is important. This is something we do a lot. You know, take a screenshot, make sure that the person can see it without completely changing it. So one thing we might want to do, we might want to say like, if you want to validate this locally, like if you don't believe me, like it's not if you don't believe me, but it's useful. Somebody might be like, well, not ready to close this issue. So we want to say like, if you would like to validate locally, you can do so with these instructions. Okay, so preview, make sure it's all good. Great, cool. So we're going to comment, and then we're going to wait for whoever you're working with, or like, so this says like group distribution, but because we're already working with Jay Rushford, I'm just going to also tag Jay Rushford, which is obviously me. I know, but whatevs. It's good learning. At J Rushford, can you please close this issue? And I'm sure he will. Cool. Alright. Embarrassing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to change this code to include the full stop, just as a demo, so we can see how the change works. So if we're doing that, that's how we'll do it. Just change link end to be here. Okay, so we're saving it. We're going to look at our source code. Okay, this is important. Structure.sql is updated because we ran GTK update. So you can discard this. Please discard this. Why is this changed? I didn't change that. Verification codes. Discard. Okay, but this is the thing that we're updating. Okay. We're going to call this commit. Do not merge. We're going to call it like move full stop. And it's not a good commit message. So commit messages, things to keep in mind. First letter should always be a capital. Second thing to keep in mind is this message is going to be seen when someone looks at the git history like this. Add link to confirm modal. Use modal to confirm action. So it's important that you write something useful. So move full stop outside of hyperlink is what I would have done if that's what we were actually doing today. So you can commit here, or you can do like we've got to add it and then commit it. You can also do git add and git commit on the, in the console. You can do like git add, whatever. It's up to you. I do this, it's way easier. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to push my changes. Oh, sorry, before I do that, I'm going to validate my changes. Right. So, if I reload this page, also important before I push anything is, if we go back to our tutorial that we're following. So far what we did is we found our thing that we're changing, we updated it, we saved the file. We're going to check that it's successful. I don't know what this means. Oh. We can make sure that, we did change that line of code. Refresh the web browser where you're viewing the GTK. So that's this one. And take a screenshot. So we're going to redo this. Yeah, and then we're going to see that this is fixed, or we've not broken it. We're going to take a screenshot of like some wider context, please, like this. Yeah, and then now we're going to push our code. So we're pushing, so we'll do git push. Obviously we're going to set it to the upstream. So we're now going to push this branch to the community fork. Cool. So what it's doing currently is it's running a bunch of tests to make sure that there's no obvious problems. So if we didn't use prettier, it's going to tell us. If we've broken any linting errors, it's going to tell us. If we didn't use a capital at the start of our commit message, it's going to tell us. Okay, so now we're going to open a new merge request. And obviously this one, we're not going to merge it, right? We're going to mark it as a draft, just so you can see how it looks, just so you can see. What does this do? So we're going to give a detailed description. So what it does is so we're doing a bug fix. So previously the learn more link correctly did not include the full stop. Now this introduces a bug where it does. Introduces a bug where it does. Okay, it's not great, but okay, so this is important. This is good learning. for screenshots, we're going to make a table. We're going to have before, and we're going to have after. And we're going to put our screenshots in here, so then the reviewers can very easily see what we've changed. Okay, so before, it was correct. Now, it is not. How to set up and validate locally. This is important, and we have the steps, so we're gonna put them into a merge request, because this is what you should do. This is important. Okay, and then have you evaluated this? This is useful to make sure that you've done everything correct. The first few times you do some merge requests, you're gonna have to go through this real thoroughly, and then I know I already have, so I haven't. I'm not gonna merge this. I'm not gonna tick it because I'm not merging it. I'm gonna keep it as a draft. If yours is not a draft, don't make it a draft. Also, draft is just the word at the start, right? Anyway, we're going to create the merge request. So what happens now is all of our tests will run. So just give this a second and you'll see that the changes will be there. Yeah, just give it a minute, right? Okay, so we're going to, so it's automatically related to this issue, right? So that's good. And then what else do we need? So we've written a detailed description. We've added our screenshots. We're going to wait for the changes to appear. Yeah, just wait. It's fine. And then what we're going to do when it's ready is we'll say GitLab bot, and we'll wait for instructions. We'll just give it a minute. So the pipeline is going to fail because I forgot to do this. So what will happen is the pipeline we're talking about. Let's go back. So when this does build the merge request, I don't know why it's taking so long. Oops. Let's just go back to our, we've committed it, and we can see git log, here's our commit, and like the tutorial said, we can also do git status. Okay, here's our tutorial. Okay, so another way we can do this is we can say git difference master, git diff master, and we can see all the things that are different from master. So this has changes, so it's just taking a minute, so it's fine. Let's not be impatient. The thing I forgot to do was this, update translation files. Okay, so the translations are stored in .pot. What we need to do is run this manually. So what will happen here eventually is it'll say I have one change, it'll start the pipeline, I'll have one commit, and then the pipeline will run and it'll be like, hey, you didn't update the translations, you have to do that. So we're just running that in our, I don't know if you can see that here, yep. We're just running this bit rake get text compile. It'll also say this in the broken pipeline, so you don't need to remember it. It's all right. So what we'd expect now is maybe we didn't need to do it. Okay, that's fine. With a lot of translations, you need to run this, and then it will update the git pot, and then you can push that, the changes to that. Don't do it manually. Exactly like here. Cool. Update the documentation. We don't need to update this because we're just fixing a small thing. Push the changes to the community fork. Done. So what they're saying is create a branch. We already did this. We did it in different order to this, but it's okay. more or less the same. Okay. Just make sure, like, did we push it right? Just move this aside so you can see it. We must have. Yeah, so when we pushed, we just blindly copied this, which says set upstream origin. Origin is the community branch because whatever. Anyway, let's see. Cool. Alright, we're going to commit. We've got our pipeline running. Because this is in draft, it's not going to run. Because running a pipeline costs minutes. We don't need to run it if it's a draft. Okay. You see how it changes. If it's a funny change, you can write a comment for the reviewer to be like, I don't know, like, this is a, there is a good reason for this. I don't know. Let's just say, like, this is a test demo. Please don't review. Please don't judge me. Right. You're gonna put something more useful. We've already put this, like, draft and not merge. People get it, I'm sure. Anyway, so what we have here is GitLab bot. Welcome to the community, blah blah blah. Not blah blah blah. Read it properly. It's useful information and it's well put. Read the contributor flow documentation. Read the merge guidelines. When you're ready for your review, do this. We're not going to do that. So, and it also says if you're working with someone directly, you can tag them like that. So you can do that with me if you want. If you're doing one of these other learn mores. If you want help. If you want, I don't know. So you can do this, and then it's going to be ready. But if I was doing this, because I'm working with Jay Rushford already, I'm going to tag me like that, right? And what that will do is it'll tag Jay Rushford for a review. Okay. Cool. And then, you know, that's it. That's it. We're done. We're done. So they do the review, you address the changes, and then we'll merge it. We're not going to do that here. Oh, a linked issue. Oh, that's automatically done that. Great. So this doesn't go anywhere. We're gonna this was a test demo. And we're gonna comment and close this merge request so it doesn't get merged. Okay, we're done. Alright, so that's how you do your first merge request. Would have been good if, you know, we contributed something useful, but it's also good just to see how it would work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bunch of issues with this, and I'm going to check it a little bit better than this. And so then you can use these as your first MR. Or if you want to do something even more useful than that, like we talked about before, you can fix this. This line needs to go, and so to do that, we're going to create. I'll raise that now. We'll create a community fork for the handbook, and then you can just do this in the IDE, or we can do it in Gitpod. Gitpod's a bit over the top for it, but it's fine. It doesn't. Yeah, it's good practice. All right, thanks for tuning in. Gonna end it. Thanks.